Hi, everyone. I am Tim. I'm a Kai in Jewish Spaces, and I'm a proud member of this community and have been for many years. And if this was about 2 or 3 years ago, and we weren't in pandemic mode and we were able to get together, I wouldn't be standing here. I'd be sitting out there, almost assuredly buzzed, maybe even drunk already, and I would probably have a bottle stashed somewhere in the building, because that's what drunks do. We drink. And because at that time, a bottle was never too far away, and I didn't care where I was or who I hurt when I was drinking. See, when I came to Mishkan 9 years ago, I wasn't even Jewish, but I was a broken man. I had given up on organized religion in my youth. I didn't believe in a God per se, and I definitely didn't believe in a God that would love someone like me. I didn't believe there was a spark of redemption available for myself. The universe, the power I choose to call God, put Rabbi Lizzie and Mishkan into my life at a time when I was struggling to be fully in recovery and find myself trying to figure out how to be a good father amongst many other challenges. Over the ensuing 9 years, with many bumps in the road, 5 trips to rehab, the last one made possible by our Mishkan community and a blessing that is Beit Teshuvah, a Jewish recovery community in LA. And with the continued love and support of this congregation and the people who love me, I'm standing here before you, a man on the mend. I'm standing before you as someone who has forgiven themselves and who has been forgiven by many of those I have hurt. I stand here today as a representative of those of us in the community who are struggling or who have beaten substance use disorder, those of us who are neurodivergent, who live with mental health issues, those of us who are queer or questioning, those who are parents, those who may not be in any of those things, but who may have missed the mark this past year in some ways, and those of us who are wondering whether we will ever find love again because of our past transgressions. Those of us who in some ways persist and refuse to quit moving forward and are willing to do the work to return to the path. The road that led me here began with something so simple and yet so powerful. I had to admit out loud that I was not on the path that the universe, God, had intended for me. I had to confess out loud to the people around me all of the things I had been doing, all of the lies, all of the things that I was ashamed of and worked so hard to keep hidden, but couldn't hide from God and could no longer hide from others. The secrets I had kept only served to reinforce a disconnection I felt from the world, from people I loved and God, and reinforce the worthlessness and the self-loathing that made me believe that I was not worthy of anyone's love, especially God's. But the secrets began to be too great, too heavy for me to carry. I had to let them out, or I felt like it would explode. And once I started talking, I did explode. It all came pouring out. As it came out, something amazing happened. The world began to open up for me. I had made my world so small. I had been so alone, filled with fear, cutting off everyone, including God. And now as I confess my deepest, darkest secrets, I was all of a sudden connected again, connected to the people around me and connected to God. Once I confessed, I could begin to make true Teshuvah. In recovery, we say we are only as sick as our secrets. For me, I know that today that is true. My confessions 2 years ago were things you can only hear in church basements, surrounded by other alcoholics and addicts, secret drinking, weekly binges, not caring about my future, not caring about the damage I was doing to my body or my family, and I had a heart attack at 45 to prove it. Drink again. Lying to loved ones, lying to Rabbi Lizzie and the other clergy, and lying to myself. Today, my confessions are not as juicy. I have lied to my mother about why I can't take her call. I have stolen from the self-checkout at Jewel, accidentally, and justified it. I have sinned the sin of Lashon Hara, misusing words against others. I have sinned the sin of Lashon Hara, misusing words against myself. So now that you know about me, let's talk about us. Why are we confessing out loud to sins we didn't do ourselves? Our mock story uses collective language to describe every sin we name when we confess out loud. We have transgressed, we have stolen, we have slandered. Why aren't I responsible for only my own stuff? I believe that when we wake up every morning and decide to be Jewish, we take up on us not only the mitzvot, but also the responsibility and obligations of being part of the community at large. Our transgressions become a part of the community's collective transgressions, which in turn become a part of the larger global Jewish community's transgressions. Rav Isaac Luria, the 16th century Kabbalist, wrote that confession is written in the plural. We have sinned, because all Israel is considered like one body, and every person is a limb of that body. So we confess to the sins of all the parts of that body. That makes sense to me. But there's something even deeper at work here. I think that a lot of us walk around all year in our bubbles. We go about our lives as individuals, loosely connected to our community, a Shabbat service here, a small group there, maybe a Shabbat dinner every once in a while, maybe none of those things throughout the year. The we can be lost in the whirlwind that is me. Maybe if you are like I used to be, you don't think you deserve to be part of a community, a society that you will have to go it alone forever. Maybe you think you don't need to ask for help or lean on other people. I believe today that is not the case for me or anyone in this room. We are Israel, the people of the book, and none of us are alone. By standing together for confession, we are reminded that we are a part of that body Rav Luria wrote about. By standing together and not making individuals stand before the community and confess individually how they missed the mark, like I just did, we are saying, I am with you. I don't want you to feel shame or embarrassment. So I'll say your sins and you'll say mine, and we are in this together because we are part of one body. This collectivism is a power that I rely on to keep going some days. It is a power I use to gird myself when I must apologize and make teshuvah, and it's so hard. The knowledge that no matter what happens, that I am a part of something bigger, that I deserve to be here, and there are people in this community who have also missed the mark. We all missed the mark, and today we will come together and we will say, we have sinned. So when you stand here tonight and beat or gently tap your chest, do it proudly as a member of this community, as a part of the global Jewish community, and remember, Kol Yisrael, Erevim Zeh Bezeh. All of us are responsible for each other. Thank you.
You got applause, Tim. You got applause. Yasher koach.